Okay, so today's lecture will be about the uh, quantization of the complex scalar field, with which uh, we started in the previous discussion. So if you remember, the theory of the complex scalar field can be written in the following form: del mu phi dagger. From now on, I am writing it in terms of dagger instead of complex conjugate, because I will assume that we have quantized the theory. That is, we have imposed equal time commutation relations between the field phi and its canonically conjugate momentum phi, and and therefore these fields are basically operators, and therefore you need a dagger instead of a complex conjugate, and therefore the theory can be written in the following form: del mu phi dagger del mu phi minus m square phi dagger phi. And in the previous discussion, we saw that this particular Lagrangian density, so from here you can immediately write down what the action of the theory is L before x. Even if you treat this as classical fields, not as operators, then also dagger stands in general for a complex conjugation. So you can put a dagger here. So this is the action of the theory, and we have seen that this particular theory has a global symmetry, in the sense that if I make a transformation of phi x to phi prime x, which is equal to e to the power minus I cube, I put a theta here, but you can put a theta also, where q and theta is a constants, or you can just put I minus I theta, whatever you as you wish, but I'm just putting a q over here. So if you make a transformation of the field phi in this way, we should note that this is not a space-time transformation, because x is not transforming, rather the field phi is transforming in this way. We have a phase factor in front, and under this transformation, and similarly we have a transformation for phi dagger also. Under this transformation, the Lagrangian density will go to L prime, that is equal to L. Okay. So you can see that this particular theory has a global symmetry. Under this, why symmetry? Because if you make a transformation of this form, the theory remains, the Lagrangian density remains invariant. And therefore, since it has a symmetry of this form, therefore corresponding to this symmetry, there is a Noether charge. And the Noether force current, you can write this force current in the following form: del L, del of del phi, delta phi, plus del phi dagger, delta phi dagger. So, corresponding to this symmetry that this theory enjoys, the complex scalar field enjoys, you have a Noether force current, you have conserved quantities, and these are given by this. This is the Noether force current. The zeroth component will be for current density. In fact, the zeroth component will be the charge density, and so on. Okay. The important, you should also note, as an aside, you should just note that this symmetry that you have is due to the fact that phi is a complex scalar field. Okay, that is why you have this symmetry. Or if you go to the case of the real scalar field, where it is the action is just half of del mu phi, where phi is a real scalar field, the real scalar field does not enjoy such a symmetry. There is no such symmetry for the real scalar field, and therefore there are no other charges. Okay, so this is a symmetry that is enjoyed by the complex scalar field. And in the previous class, we had actually explicitly computed this J mu, and we defined the charge Q to be the special integral of the zeroth component of the force current density J0, and we computed this quantity, and we also noted that this Q is a conserved quantity. You can check it by taking a dq dt, and dQTT will be equal to 0, which shows that Q is a conserved quantity. And we calculated this explicitly from this theory. We found that this is nothing but dq text of, we had an expression for this. This was phi dagger del naught phi minus phi. So this was the expression for the charge, total charge Q. Okay, and J0, you can see that this is the charge density, and this was the point at which we left in the previous class, and we stated that in the next class we would start with calculating the form of this Q explicit. And for that, what we shall do today is we shall use the mode expansions for phi. And if you remember, the mode expansion for phi was the following. Phi was, I will just do it on a box. The summation over k 1 by 2 omega k v at this term, where k takes discrete values because we have kept the field phi in a box of volume v and impose periodic boundary conditions at the end, at the three ends of the box, at each ends in each of the dimensions, where we impose periodic boundary conditions, and that leads to discrete values for this momentum k values. And from here, the mode expansion will be ak to the power of minus ik dot x plus v dagger k. So what we shall do today is substitute this mode expansion here, and you should also note that this is the expression where we have assumed that theta is 1. This theta that we have here, we have assumed this theta to be 1, and if you do that, we get the expression for Q to be this in terms of the fields phi. Okay. Now we should substitute the mode expansion to be a normal mode expansion for the field phi, operator, where AK and BK dagger, these are basically operators. So we are doing, we are in the quantum regime now, and we shall start calculating this expression for Q. So we go to the other side of the board. So let us calculate first what del naught phi is. So this is a calculation that we have done earlier, but I just want to do it for the charge case. I just want to repeat it once more. So del naught phi, you just need to differentiate this expression with respect to time t. You remember that this 4 momentum that you have here, k mu, not all the components are independent. You have this is k0, and you have k vector, 3 momentum, but k0 is nothing but omega k. Where omega k, I think you cannot see this part. I will just show you this part once more. I will just go to the other side of the board, and you can now see it. What I wrote is the following. You can see that this phi, you have the 4 momentum over here, k, and as I mentioned earlier also, the 0th component of the 4 momentum is related to the spatial components in this way. So k mu is k0, k vector, but k0 is omega k, where omega k is related to k vector in this way. So now let us calculate del naught phi. So del naught phi will be summation over k this AK, and from e to the power of minus I k dot x, I will get, if you differentiate, I will get minus I omega k e to the power of minus I k dot x plus b dagger k. This will give us a I omega k e to the power of I k dot x. So this is the mode expansion for del naught phi. Okay. And what we need to do is just calculate the first term, d cubed x times this. So if we do that, what we shall get is the following. We have d cubed x. We'll have two summations. So phi dagger is there. So let me put k comma k prime. And then we will have 2v omega k prime square root. Then we will have, this is phi dagger of everything. You should remember that the arguments of all these things are x and x. Okay. So for phi dagger, what we have is the following. It will be a dagger k prime e to the power of plus I k prime dot x plus d k prime e to the power of I k prime dot x with the minus in front. So this is for phi dagger, and then you have this expression. For this, what we do is we take minus I omega k outside. We have a minus I omega k outside, and this is times ak to the power of minus I x minus b dagger k to the power of I k of x. So this is what we get. So you can just have a look at the board carefully. So this is what we get. Now, what as before, what we need to do. So this term is basically nothing but integral d cubed x of phi dagger x del of phi x. So this is the first term. This term. Without the IQ factor in front, I times charge in front. So this is basically equal to this. Now, as before, what we need to do is just multiply these two expressions. The inner thing, the integrand, you just need to multiply it and carry the integral over d cubed x, the special integral. So what we shall get is the following. We can take minus I, we can keep minus I outside, this minus I, and then we can take the summation, interchange the order of the summations and integrations. If you do that, then what we shall get is omega k. Also, you have a factor of 2v. 2v you can keep outside, divided by omega k prime square root. This is what we get, and then I have the integral over x. This is the integral, and then we just need to multiply this with this. If you multiply, you can immediately see that this first term we get a dagger k prime a k e to the power of I k prime minus k x. This comes from this with this. Then this with this multiplication you will get plus bk prime ak e to the power of minus I k prime plus k dot x. Now this with this will give us minus a dagger k prime dagger k prime I is, and then this will become minus b k prime b dagger k exponential minus I k prime k of x. So these are all the terms that we have for multiplying this. And now what we need to do here is just we need to carry out the x integral. We can carry out this x integral, and what you can see, these are, although these are 4 momenta, but as before, if you remember, you will get a time component which will be omega k prime minus omega k into time t with a I factor, obviously. That factor will go outside the integral because it is depending on time. The spatial integral will involve the three momentum and the 3 vector x. Okay, and that will give you a Kronecker delta. Why Kronecker delta? Because you are using summation. You have kept the field in a box, so it will lead to a volume factor times the Kronecker delta. Have you been doing this calculation in with the continuum k of values? That is, you have taken the volume v to infinity. In that limit, all these integrals will give you a Dirac delta function with a factor of 2 pi whole cube. So if you carry out this integral, what we shall get is the following. So this will contribute when k is equal to k prime. So this will become this thing. You can remove that if you take integral. All the integrals will give a factor of volume factor v. So this volume will get cancelled. The volume goes outside the calculation. It is not there in the final calculation, which is quite desirable. And from here, this factor will go away. It will not contribute. So you get this, and also the k prime will go away because you have carried out the Kronecker delta. Here also this will go away. This k prime will go away. This factor will not be there. And similarly, here you will have b minus k, and this will be twice I omega k t. Similarly, this also minus k 2I omega t. So this will be the result, and also this is minus k, but omega minus k is the same as omega k. Therefore, this factor will cancel with this factor, so you can just get rid of this term completely. So the result of the calculation, the first term is this. Okay. Similarly, you just need to compute the other term. What we need to do is compute this term, phi del naught phi dagger. So this term is basically the complex conjugate of this term, of the first term. So you can actually write down the result straight away without calculating anything. So now what we do is, so let me just write down the result here. D cubed x phi dagger x del naught phi of x. This is the thing that we have calculated just now. So that comes out to be minus I by 2 summation over k. Then we have k dagger k, ak, the first term, minus bk, b dagger k, the second term. And then we have the cross terms, so to say. We have b minus k, a, k, exponential e to the power of minus 2i omega k t, and then we have another term just I made a mistake, a small error. Just let me go back to the other side of the board. Remember that, no, I think I did it correctly. Let me just check. This will give a plus sign, this will give a plus sign, this is a plus, this is a minus, and this is a minus. Okay. No, I think everything is correct. But let us just do it, carry on. Calculation. So we get this minus this plus this, and we have another term which is minus of A minus K dagger. Also here, just note that this term I think this is A dagger and this is minus K. So let me check. This one will be this one will be this. A K prime BK. B dagger K. A dagger minus K, B dagger K. So B minus K, B dagger K, B minus K, AK, A dagger minus K, B dagger K, e to the power of 2y omega K. So this is what we have. So this is the first term. And then we need to write down other term which is phi of x del naught phi dagger of x, which is basically, you can see that this is the complex conjugate of this term. So let us just take the complex conjugate of this thing. So what you will get is I by 2. So this will become plus I by 2. Then you will have a summation over k. Take a complex conjugate. We have to take a dagger of this term. So this is the adjoint of this. This term is the adjoint of this term. So you take an adjoint of this, you get k dagger k. Okay. The same, and this will also give us bk dagger k. Be the same, and then we will have to take the adjoint of this one. This one will give us plus a dagger k b of b dagger of minus k, and then this will become e to the power of two y omega k t, and then this will give us minus b k bk and a minus k exponential minus 2y k. This is what we shall have. Let me just check. I think I have done it correctly, but so it's better to just okay. So now what we need to do is just subtract these two terms. So this minus this term minus this term. So you can immediately see that these terms will add, and you have a minus I in front, summation over k, and it will give rise to a dagger k minus bk b dagger k. So what we are doing is we are subtracting this from this, so that is equal to this thing. So these terms are added up, the first two terms in both the expressions, and now we need to see what happens to this term. e to the power of minus 2I omega kt term. So let us look at this term with this term. So you see, in this term, what you can do is you can make the summation k, you can make a transformation k going to minus k. Then everything will remain the same. What will happen is you can change this to minus k, and this will become plus k, and this will become omega minus k. Then everything is same, but omega minus k is the same as omega k. You can just remove it. And now let us check on these two terms. You can see that this comes with a minus sign. This is a minus, and this will also give you a minus. But if you look at these two terms now, this comes with a plus and this comes with a minus. Therefore, these two terms cancel. They're the same terms. They will cancel. And similarly, like the similar transformation that k goes to minus k. So you will have this, and this will remain the same. Then you can show that these two terms come with opposite signs, and you have subtracted them. So this is minus I by 2. When you subtract, you have a minus I by 2 from here, and then there is a relative sign between these two terms. Therefore, they cancel away, and therefore your final result is this. Okay. Only everything is right because this 2 has cancelled. These terms are added up, therefore this 2 has cancelled, and therefore the charge Q now is nothing but it is this expression multiplied by I Q. I times minus I will be plus, and therefore we have a Q. And therefore this is the expression for the charge. So now you have a nice expression for the charge Q. Let me just check one thing. It was 5x. Here I think we have to be a little bit careful. Let us be a little bit careful, because what you will get ultimately, if you just do this calculation naively, del not phi dagger phi, we have calculated what? Del not phi. We have done phi del not phi dagger. Phi dagger del not phi. Phi dagger del not phi. I have done it in my notes. I have done it in a different the ordering of the operators. I am actually talking about the ordering of operators. See, the way we have done, you need to do it a little bit carefully, because what I'm saying is that phi dagger del not phi x is this thing. There is no doubt about it. But when you take the complex conjugate of this expression minus phi del not phi dagger. So it is better actually if you write it down in full. I think what you will get, see, this term is actually at the classical level, it is a complex conjugate of this term. But at the quantum level, there is the ordering of operators is important. So phi del not phi dagger, if you just naively calculate it, what we did in this calculation was the following. I just took the complex conjugate of this expression and wrote it down without calculating. But I think I have made a small error. The error is that if you had calculated it the way in which we had calculated the first term, what you will get probably is A dagger, A dagger, and B, and this will be B dagger B. You get something like this. And the other terms, maybe the orders are different, but both A and B commute with each other. So you can bring it on the other side. But these operators do not commute with each other. See, if you write down phi, phi has what? A plus B dagger. So this structure, phi del not phi dagger, the way in which I have written down here, this is basically what? Phi, this is A plus B dagger, and then this is A dagger plus B. Okay? So you have the terms that we get is A dagger, B dagger B. So this will be like this. I have written it down the other way around. So you should be a little bit careful, but ultimately everything will remain same. You see, the cross terms will cancel away, but you will have A dagger, B dagger, B. So what you will get ultimately is the following. You can again write it down in terms of A dagger AK, because this term you can use the commutation relation. Okay? When you use the commutation relation, you will get a delta K K prime from this term. And then A dagger K and AK will get swapped, and this will add with this term. And that will give you this thing, because the 2 will cancel out. The 1 by 2 in front, that I written down earlier, that 1 by 2 will cancel out, because this, on using the commutation relation, this will add up. But then you will have a Kronecker delta K K prime. But this also, when you swap it, or when you swap this term, this will also give a Kronecker delta K K prime, and these Kronecker deltas are opposites in signs, and therefore they will cancel. So what will happen is the following. Ultimately, if you write down everything, what you will get is Q will be equal to A dagger AK, B dagger BK. What I will do is, I will swap this term. Use the commutation relation on this term to bring it on as B dagger B, and this is already in B dagger B form, and therefore when you subtract, when you just subtract the 2, you will get B dagger BK, the 2 will cancel out, and the Kronecker delta coming from this commutation relation and the Kronecker delta coming from this commutation relation, they will cancel out. You need to just use the commutation relation. So otherwise everything is fine, so I would just tell you to do this calculation once again without taking the complex conjugate from this thing. You just take phi dagger del not phi and phi del not phi dagger. I've done one of the terms. Do the second term, write brute force, write down the mode expansions, multiply, and do the calculation, do the integrations. You will get this as the charge. So this is our final result. Now let us see what has happened. You see, if I define a number operator as NA, summation over K, A dagger, A, K. So this is my number operator. Just a minute. Okay. And NB as summation over K, B dagger, A, BK. So if we define the number operators like this, NA and NB, therefore you can write this charge as Q times NA. So this is the expression for the charge Q. Now you can see in the previous class I mentioned that there are two kinds of particles, and one is the antiparticle of each the other. Okay. So if I consider the particle being the one that is being created by the operator A dagger K, then B dagger K is an operator that creates the antiparticle, and you see how the antiparticle by definition has the same mass as the particle. It has the same spin as the particle, but it has an opposite charge. And you can see, since it has an opposite charge, therefore the total charge of this field theory is given by the charge Q times number operator is the total charge of the particle species, and minus Q times the total number of the other kind of particle, that is the total charge of the other kind of particle, and there is because of this minus sign. So the total charge actually is the positive charge minus the negative charge. Therefore, this you can see the B dagger actually creates a particle of exactly with the opposite sign as you have as the charge of the particle. Therefore, the particle that is being created by B dagger K has an opposite charge to the particle that is being created by A dagger K. Therefore, this thing we interpret it as the antiparticle. Therefore, you can see that the complex scalar field actually admits antiparticles in its spectrum. So this is the first thing, and you can attribute the fact that you can have particles and antiparticles in your theory. This is actually because of the global symmetry that you started with. Since you have the global symmetry, you have a global symmetry in your theory. Therefore, that particular theory actually admits for particles as well as antiparticles, and that is reflected in the expression for total charge. It is a sum, it is a charge due to the total charge due to the particles minus the total charge due to the antiparticles, which comes with a negative value, and the total charge is the subtraction of the two charges due to the two species coming from the two species of particles. So this is an important thing that we have learned from the complex scalar field theory. The only other thing that we need to do is we need to calculate the Hamiltonian of this theory. This calculation I will not do in detail. I will just tell you what to do, and you have to finish it up at home. You keep it as an exercise. You should remember that what you need to do is quite simple, and you should remember that here the vacuum state will be annihilated. The vacuum of this field theory, AK, this is 0, and similarly BK is also 0. So it is both, it is annihilated by both the annihilation operator of the particle as well as the antiparticle. So that defines the vacuum of this field theory, of this complex scalar field theory, and we have already calculated what the Hamiltonian operator is from our previous lecture. The Hamiltonian operator is pi dagger x plus pi x, and then you have del I phi dagger del I phi plus m square pi dagger phi. So this is what the Hamiltonian operator is, and what we need to do is calculate each of the terms separately. So what you do in your exercise, in your homework is we calculated m square phi square in the case of the real scalar field, but now it is just m square phi dagger phi. So we need to calculate all these three terms, put in the mode expansions, find first of all what I have told you what pi is. You have to find out the mode expansion for del I phi, the derivative, special derivative of phi. And then you just need to calculate all these three terms explicitly, and then combine all the three terms as we did in the case of the real scalar field. If you do it, what you will ultimately get is the following: the Hamiltonian operator will come out to be the summation over k, omega k, k dagger k, k. Will be this thing plus get something like this. So this will be your Hamiltonian operator, and you can once again see that there will be a 0-point energy, because when you shift this commutation relation by using this commutation relation between B and B dagger, there will be a constant term, and that constant term summed over all k, omega k, and summed over k, this will give rise to an infinite 0-point energy, and that you can get rid by normal ordering. If you normal order, what will happen is that this is the summation k, omega k, a dagger k, ak plus b dagger k, bk. Normal ordering by definition, it tells you that bring all the creation operators to the left of the annihilation operators. And that will get, and forget about the 0-point energy. And therefore, you will get the normal order form of the Hamiltonian. And that you can see it will be basically omega k. So you can write this normal order Hamiltonian to be equal to summation over k omega k in A plus in B. Not really in A, so this will be basically, the summation will not be there. We will not be able to write it in this one. The summation will be like the summation, and it is basically in A K. So just to remind you that this is for species A, and this is in B, where in A K is A dagger K AK, and in B K is B dagger K BK. It's a normal order form of the Hamiltonian. So please try to finish up this calculation at home. So this I leave it as an exercise for you to do, and this actually completes our quantization of the complex scalar field also. So what we have done so far is we have completed the quantization of the real scalar field as well as the complex scalar field. From the next class, what we shall, so there are two more fields that are left. Two more. All these quantization are at the free field theory level. So there are two more fields that we need to quantize. One is the electromagnetic field, that is the gauge field, Maxwell field. We shall quantize it, and then we have to quantize the Dirac field, and that will complete the free field quantization of all the four fields. And then we can go to, and then we can start looking at interactions among the fields, self interactions, and also interactions between two different fields. We shall look into those kind of things. So let us stop here for today. We shall meet tomorrow at 2:15. And my request is to use that. Please try to complete the exercises that are giving you. Okay. Do you have any questions or comments?
No, sir. It's okay.
Okay. So let us finish it here. We shall meet tomorrow at 2:15.
Okay, sir.